Hello to you. It's Doggy Poo.
Ouch!
When I saw it, you see, I thought to myself, well, we literally review shit movies on the channel. Not everything is shit, but this kind of more popular ones that we do review are ones that are terrible movies. And I thought, oh, how is this is like calling out to me.
Oh, yuck! It's a doggy poo! Disgusting! Oh, how disgusting!
And I actually haven't seen it. I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, as you said, we got past all the turd jokes, we've done them all.
But now I am left all alone. I have got no one to talk to. He said everything has a purpose, but what would I be good for? After all, I am just a doggy poo.
You told me we were watching It's a Wonderful Life, and somehow, when you hit the play button, I just have to say it, shite.
Well,
Come on.
Hello, I am a sprout of dandelion. I am going to become a beautiful flower.
What can a useless doggy poo like me do for making a flower?
You have to melt into my body, though. You have to give me all of yourself, so we both can become a flower.
Through the intestine of being ejaculated out of the anus.
such a lovely way with words you got.
I will give all myself to you.
It's the Doggy Poo movie review. Yes, that's right, you heard a movie about a talking turd. It's the Doggy Poo movie review. On Schmat, it's here. Yeah, yes, that's right, you heard a movie about a talking turd. It's the Doggy Poo movie review.
Welcome. It's another Christmas chat schmat. And of course, we're out somewhere special and we're celebrating with you. And to do that, what better than a doggy poo? Yeah, you heard right. It's famous, not to us though, South Korean children's story, the equivalent of the Raymond Briggs Snowman, and it's Doggy Poo. And it's a stop motion animation, and it's from 2002, 2003. And we watched it for your pleasure, and you will be seeing our reaction to that as well. But with me, as ever, is this man who's looking thoroughly happy to watch this shit. And yeah, get used to that. We're making a lot of turd jokes. And welcome along, Neil Stringer.
Hello, very good to be here today in this wonderful Christmas special.
And our very special guest, Ian Lauder.
Hello, everybody. Johnny, I've got a bone to pick with you right off
Okay.
the bat. When we agreed to do this, you told me we were watching It's a Wonderful Life, and somehow, when you hit the play button, I just have to say it, shite.
Well,
Come on.
It's a Wonderful Life for a Doggy Poo.
Or It's a Wonderful Shite.
Yeah.
Oh.
But on that note, this is as I say, South Korean classic, though we'd never heard of it. I picked this up in a charity shop locally in Hollywood. Now, that's Hollywood with one L, County Down, not Hollywood, USA.
When you say you picked it up in a charity shop, did you pay money for this?
I paid £1 for it.
You idiot.
I know. But the thing is, I was looking around, and the same day I found Jeremy Beadle, Beatles About Series 1. So the two things called to me together.
Could we not watch that?
Well, funny enough, there was a plan to watch that. We can still do that sometime. But
Yes.
But it is one of those things. It called to me, and I thought, nobody's ever going to do a video about this, and possibly with good reason. But the thing is, when you take away the fact that it's Doggy Poo, it's a very happy message, a very sad message. A children's story about life, the circle of life, and the importance and self-importance of you as a person and what you contribute to society. And that is in a nutshell what it's about. It's about a dog turd finding out that people find them disgusting, but yet they can still provide something to society. And there's also kind of a sex scene in there, but that was kind of unexpected, wasn't it? So on that note, let's begin with you, Ian. What is your initial thoughts? I mean, aside that you thought it was going to be a wonderful life, when you realized what it was, what were you expecting going in?
I didn't know. I couldn't, because, usually you tell me what we're going to watch, and I can maybe, if I haven't heard of it, I can, look up YouTube or find something on it. Couldn't find anything on this. So I had no idea, but I thought it's about a doggy poo. I mean, what's to say? But what really surprised me was how well made it was. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we did actually watch the making of as well, because I felt it's important to see that rather than just pass it off as this thing that was, there was a lot of effort put into it, the same as a George Lucas film or anything like that. But on top of that, obviously it's difficult to, a lot of the films that we talk about here, this was only half an hour, so it's not going to be an extensive look into this. But we thought, a little Christmas message and a little Christmas fun from us. So obviously with a cynical eye going in, we had all the shit jokes. But all that aside, would you say this is true to what they set out to do in it's not specifically a Christmas film, but it's of the same sort of message?
Yeah, it's got a very warm message about the importance anybody can play in society, I suppose, really. Everyone's got a purpose.
Yeah.
So, no, I thought it was a nice message.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. When you mentioned the film to me, Doggy Poo, I was quite skeptical, because I thought you found some really interesting and bizarre films in our time doing these podcasts, and I thought you had literally scraped the barrel with the pile of shite. But in a weird way, I was intrigued at the same time, because it sounded like something I've never seen before. No one had made an idea about a talking lump of turd as a film idea, and then I was intrigued because it's also a very popular children's book in South Korea, and apparently it's a really big thing over there. So I think because it took us so long to get around to watching it, we built up this kind of myth about what we're going to expect from the film, and I actually haven't seen it. I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, as you said, we got past all the turd jokes. We've done them all. But when you get past there, it's a very wholesome film. It does kind of showcase that we all have something to contribute in society, even if other people don't believe that we do. And I think in this day and age, that's a very important message to have.
What? A doggy poo? Am I disgusting? Huh.
You know where you came from. What else did you think you were?
Okay, I am a poo. So what?
You are not just any poo. You are a doggy poo. The worst kind of them all. Hey, doggy poo. I'm really sorry. I guess I shouldn't have said what I said. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Hi there, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel because we're on a mission to get 1,000 subscribers. Helping us to do so will unlock features on the YouTube channel, including monetization. Doing so will support the channel and help us create more content, better content, and be able to do more. So, enjoy the rest of the episode, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Having looked at the making of, what were your thoughts on the process? I'm sure you've watched, like the making of on a lot of DVDs and things, big Hollywood films and TV shows. It looked to me like there was just as much effort. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm a believer at things like stop motion is an art form that should always remain in play, because I think you really get the heart and soul, the performance of the characters through stop motion. That I think there's a true art form to stop motion that you don't really get with some CGI. And I'm not dissing CGI, there's some brilliant CGI, but because it's handmade and physicality is used to make the puppets and the figures move, I think the performance really shows, and it has a feel that I think is unique in its style.
So yeah, I agree. I think when I saw it, I thought to myself, well, we literally review shit movies on the channel. Not everything is shit, but this kind of more popular ones that we do review are ones that are terrible movies. And I thought, oh, how is this is like calling out to me to be on our channel. There's not very much on it out there. So, I couldn't believe that there would be an actual movie called Doggy Poo. And then I found out it was based on a book. And I felt a bit ignorant of that in a way, because, obviously it's a different culture to us. So I sort of thought, maybe the shit jokes are a bit beneath us. And I thought, no, they're not. And we made them anyway. But, it does have the feel of The Snowman to me, Raymond Briggs' film. I mean, Father Christmas is a good Christmas story, but it's a very cynical one from Raymond Briggs. So the Snowman is the much more wholesome story. The Snowman has a very short life, magical though he is, and the talking turd. And there was we're going to get into the different scenes and things, but I got confused. I thought that the other lump of muck beside him was actually a cow pat or something. That's what I thought it was, because it showed scenes of him under the ground, feeding potatoes and things. And I thought, oh, that's what this is. But and when the farmer went down and scooped him up, and I thought, oh, who puts their hand in shit? But they explained, and the characters explained, that he was a lump of soil, but he spoke with a Texan accent, and he goes, hey, you're nothing but a doggy poo, all this kind of thing. Very sort of slightly comical. But then he had a character arc in the small space of time he was in there, a redemption arc. So there were things like that, and there's a lot of shows out there today, not to nag on every show out there, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of shows that take a long time to explain things. In that short half an hour film, they covered a lot of ground well, they told the story well. Now, yes, it's based on a book, so they have that that as a basis, but there's a lot of things that they make now that are based on books, and sometimes they overlook things, they miss the point of it. Whereas I think the message that the makers in the making of said was, that they wanted to tell that sort of wholesome message, and I think the film definitely delivers on that. What scenes in the movie stood out for you? What did you find amusing?
Well, I loved how happy the soil guy was when he was underground, when he was feeding the nutrients into the plants that he was helping to grow.
Potatoes.
I think also he did kind of come across a bit like Four Corn Leghorn in the accent a little bit. But not as comical, obviously very droll, you know.
He was quite insulting in the beginning, wasn't
Oh
he?
yeah, very rude. I mean, this Doggy Poo is a child, very knowledgeable child, but still essentially a child.
We had a theory, but how did we think the knowledge, the baby Doggy Poo, how did we think he gained his knowledge?
Through the intestine of being ejaculated out of the anus.
Such lovely way with words you've got.
I don't know how I came out
But
like that.
for me, it seemed like in Superman when Jor-El imparts knowledge on the way to Earth.
Yeah.
I was joking, that's what it was. Not that that's a plot hole, but it's assumed that it's a sentient poo in this lore, in this universe. It's a sentient poo. Everything's sentient.
It's awful thinking about dying. Especially for someone who did so many bad things and there is no way to pay back. It was just last summer. The sun was sizzling right above us. We didn't have rain for a long time. Everything dried out so fast. I was so thirsty, but these little peppers were constantly sucking up every single drop of water out of my body. I hated the pepper for taking all my water. I even wished that they would die. Then one day, they really died. The poor little peppers were so helplessly dependent upon me.
If you enjoy silly, fun films, then why not support us in our short film project? We're making a comedy shot entirely on Super 8. You can support us through Buy Me a Coffee, but to get directly to our Buy Me a Coffee link and to find out more information about the actual film and to receive updates, go to super8portals.com and check the website for regular updates on our progress on the film. Now it's back to the podcast. Okay, so what about you, Ian? What, the same kind of question to you. What scenes did you find amusing? What stood out for you?
The first thing when the dog's coming along and he's getting ready to do his number 2, I was thinking, what the hell are we watching, Johnny? Seriously? Really? And then he does his business and Pooh appears and he's so damn cute. He's got the wee rosy cheeks, the smile. You just want to give him a hug.
Even the dog who delivered him, pardon the expression, the way I phrased it there, was pretty adorable as well.
And I do think, there's a certain part of it that, you kind of, it popped into my head. There was the public service announcements as a kid not to touch dog poo, and that cute turd made you would think kids would want to go and look for a dog turd on the street. Oh, look, mummy, it's a talking turd, and because it can dog poo can make you go blind. It can contain parasites and things. So in that sense, I'm thinking too much into this here, really, but it did pop into my mind. So, you have to say these things. But I did find that amusing. And, as I say, I think the animation's very good at characterizing these beings. There was a leaf that blew into the scene as well. And we couldn't resist all those kind of jokes too. But all these characters coming together, very well realized, very well animated. The music as well, to me, really added an extra element to it. It was
beautiful,
very emotional. So those are my kind of thoughts on it.
Man's best friend can sometimes be a little nuisance. Fouling can not only be unpleasant for other people, but may occasionally be a health hazard. So train your dog to do it at home, and if there is a mistake, bag it and bin it. And remember, all pets should be wormed at least every 6 months. See that your best friend is kept healthy and well trained, and then he'll be everyone's friend.
Well, they all had a personality, which was good. You had the child of the Doggy Poo. You had the very sovereign drool of the soil. You had the very bossy hen, and then you had the leaf being very mullery,
Supportive.
and then you had the weed
The very sexy weed.
who he did the business with. Well,
Can you explain what you mean by did the business with? Because this was a surprise for all of us, really. Because fertilization,
it's about the
leaves.
Well, it's talking about the fertilization and how the nutrients of the shit can be used to help to develop.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just picturing Neil having that talk with his son. You know, the birds and the bees.
Well, son, there's this turd, you see, and a weed, and they love each other very much.
If you give me the birds and the bees, that's a turd. And
Turd and bees, yeah.
But so, it's just the idea of obviously it's saying that the weeds and the poo need each other so that it can use its nutrients to help fertilize the creation of a dandelion.
Yes, and beautiful flower, because the turd, the Doggy Poo, was looking to the stars, wanted to be as beautiful as a star.
It's almost like an ugly duckling allegory there. The ugly duckling who grows up to be a beautiful swan.
So essentially the we'll show you a clip of this, but the leaves of the dandelion sort of wrap around the doggy turd like a hug, and he's got his face right down there, and we're looking at us, hang on a minute there, this is a sex scene, isn't it? It's David Attenborough style thing, but
here we have the leaves of the weed enveloping.
It's David Attenborough meets Mills and Boone, caressing his face in a warm embrace. But it is. I mean, that was unintentionally funny because there's not really a cynical bone in his body in this movie. That's just our potty humor and that kind of thing. But you look at that and tell me that you don't see that. Essentially, they're making babies there. They talk about being a beautiful flower and a beautiful dandelion and all of this, and that's a metaphor too. It's actually full of metaphors, isn't it, really?
Is that a walking bird?
Hold on! What is this?
Me? I am a Doggy Poo. Why are you looking at me like that, walking bird?
What? A walking bird? How silly. Listen to me, kid. I am not just a walking bird. I am the mother of 8 boy chicks and 5 girl chicks. Do you understand?
What in the world are you?
Hello, I am a sprout of dandelion.
You must be lucky. You will become a beautiful flower someday.
I need one more thing, though.
What is it?
I need your help.
What? You must be kidding.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever wanted me. What can a useless Doggy Poo like me do for making a flower?
You have to melt into my body, though. You have to give me all of yourself, so we both can become a flower.
I become a flower? I could actually become a flower that looks like a star?
We got it together, didn't we? We've definitely got our thing
I
together.
will give all myself to you.
Isn't that nice? I mean, really, when you really sit and think about it, isn't it really, really nice? I can easily feel myself slipping more and more waves. That super world of my own. Nobody but you and me. We've got it together, baby. My first, my last, my everything, and the answer to all my dreams.
And if you want to get in touch with us, here are the many ways you can do so. We're on Twitter or X, and it's @ChatSchmat. The same on Instagram, @ChatSchmat, and we're also on Blue Sky. On Blue Sky, it's @chatschmat.bsky.social. And we've been on Facebook for a while, but we haven't really said anything about it. But here we are. It's facebook.com/chatschmat. So you can come along there. And finally, of course, as always, we're on email, and that is show@chatschmat.com. So please get in touch, and don't forget you can also comment on the videos as well. What is your take on both the fertilization scene and other stuff? What did you make of all that?
Again, as you say, once you get past the sort of the jokes, it's a sex scene in a children's movie. It's the reaction of Doggy Poo. He's got almost tears in his eyes because he's realized, I now have a purpose. I can help you become a beautiful flower, like the stars in the sky, compared to the beauty of the stars in the sky. So he was very, fulfilled that he had this purpose and very joyful.
Compared to at the start when he was told he was horrible and the birds tried to eat him and spat him out, saying,
Exactly,
disgusting.
Yeah. Exactly. He thought he was just destined to, I guess, sort of wither away in the street.
And there was a scene, there was a very, I suppose you call it dramatic scene, where the piece of muck thought he was going to die as the farmer's cart was coming towards them, and they thought they were going to get squished. That's the action scene in the piece, isn't it?
That's it. It's over. But of course, the cart stops, and probably my most hilarious part of the movie, the farmer recognizes it's his muck, scoops it up with his hands like a child, and puts it back on the cart.
It's like, what's a piece of my field doing here? That's mine. Oh, better take it. That bit of muck's not mine.
Nope. The wee Doggy Poo gets left all alone, and you have that sense of loneliness throughout, because near enough everybody he meets, whether it's the leaf that blows away quite quickly, or the hen who just dismisses him. He's very, very alone and afraid almost, especially at night.
And so at the end of the movie, there's a song, and we were joking saying, let's get this to number one, the Doggy Poo song, I don't know what the lyrics are because it is in Korean.
It's Korean, so
but,
yeah.
At least get number 2.
But yeah, we were saying it would almost be more of a coup to get it to number 2 than number 1.
Yeah, definitely.
But we saw the chap who did the music. His name, I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember. But he really put a lot of passion, And obviously you could see the musicians actually in. It wasn't digital, it was proper violins and things, and he really treated it.
Yeah.
He really treated it like a proper piece of work, that he was giving a piece of himself to the audience, and the whole crew seemed to be giving their passion to it. And as much as we joke about the subject matter, and obviously the name just looks ridiculous, no matter what you do, when you put Doggy Poo in front of it, it just makes you laugh. But the quality of work is definitely something,
Stunning.
that's not laughable. We've seen plenty of old films and things where they've had a small budget and they haven't been able to achieve half the stuff they did in this. So, credit where it's due. We're taking the piss out of it here, but at the end of the day, it is a good movie.
We leaves grow larger and become greener under our mother tree's great care during summer. But as fall passes and winter comes, we all fall from the mother tree and scatter around. We have to leave so that she can grow more leaves next year. But a leaf like myself cannot live longer than a year. There are things that live only for a day, and others that live for 1,000 years. Oh, it's a complicated world.
Goodbye, Pooh. It's over now. I'm gonna die. Be good now.
I am only a doggy poo. What am I good for?
God has not created you for no reason. He must have a good plan for you.
Isn't this from my land? I must have dropped it on the way. I shall return this back to my farm. This is the best kind. Giddy up.
Oh, oh. 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 Am I going back to the farm? Is this for real? Hooray!
And if you're a fan of our work, you can support us and buy me a coffee, or a film in this case. We're making a short film. Any donations kindly received. The link is in the description, but here's the information on screen. We're making a short film shot entirely on film, and it would be very, very helpful if you would send us some money. Thank you. You've said that you were pleasantly surprised. If that was a stocking filler for you, you would probably think this person is taking the piss, and you'd be right. But all that aside, ranking it as a film, what are your thoughts on it?
It's a very heartfelt film. But the thing is, as you said, if someone bought me that, it'd probably sit on a shelf and I wouldn't touch it. I'd probably go, yeah, this is stupid, this is rubbish. But it just shows you can't judge a film by its title, I guess, really.
A DVD by its cover?
DVD by its cover, exactly. So if it wasn't for doing this, I probably, you wouldn't watch it. It'd be something you just...
And also, do you think kids here, like, British kids or whatever, would enjoy it?
I think a young audience would definitely enjoy it, and then the slightly older kid audience would just make fun of it and, you know, do what we do with all the shit jokes and what have you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is worrying. Would very young kids want to go out and try and find their own doggy poo then?
Yeah, because kids are very, very easily influenced that way, aren't they? Though?
You know, so whether it would be suitable or not, I don't know. It's certainly something I don't think you'd ever see here.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't think there's ever been anything.
Well, here's the thing. My young niece has been pushing to watch Beetlejuice. Do you think Beetlejuice is more appropriate or Doggy Poo?
Oh.
I'm not talking about quality of film, I'm talking about appropriateness.
Well, you see, Doggy Poo does have that sort of wholesome message, you know. So I suppose in that respect, I think it's more suitable. But everybody loves Beetlejuice.
This is it.
Exactly. We were kids when we first watched Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that it took us this long to get around to actually watching this film, because you've had it for quite a while now, I believe, and if it was in my stocking, I would probably have even less of an urge to watch it, because it's not really something that grabs me like, I must watch this, it must be watched tonight. You know, it's not. It doesn't really. It'd be, if I hadn't done all the research, that you know, I'd be looking at going, okay, someone's having a laugh, but you know, actually getting around to watching it, I've actually thought, you know, this is actually really well done. The animation is fantastic for its production. The team really have a lot of love put into it, and you can see that love in the film. I do think young kids would get a kick out of it. They'll get a message. They'll get something out of it. It does teach them, and it feels done in a very tasteful way that it's not, you know, insulting.
Well, we were talking about, you know, the circle of life. I mean, if you look at a lot of Disney films, they deal with death as well. So it's not in that crazy territory. It's just the, you know, what the actual creature is, and that's supposed the whole point, isn't it?
I'm just imagining Disney Poo Disneyfied.
Doggy Poo Disneyfied, you mean?
Yeah, it's not that well.
You said Disney Poo.
Same difference. What I meant to say was Doggy Poo. I'm trying to imagine Doggy Poo Disneyfied. They probably would take the schmaltz of it to a new level, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so. Certainly the animation.
I think it'd be a bit more smelly.
Though I think the Disney version would have more songs, wouldn't they? They would have more the character. Although the music is brilliant and there is a Doggy Poo song at the end, the characters don't sing, don't break into song.
There would be a song about poop.
Yeah.
In there somewhere.
And then years down the line, they'll do a live action version of it.
It'll be part of Disney on Ice.
There'll be an amusement, a big dog's anus as you go in and a poop comes out.
No, it's a ride.
You know, someone's got to do that now and take credit for your idea.
It's a new ride, and when the ride ends, you come out of the anus.
My question to you is, you know, do you think that it would be, if it was on, say, Disney Plus or a streaming service, or you had the DVD to put on, you're looking for something for kids to put on, do you think that's appropriate?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it there. I don't really see many families going, hey kids, should I put on this film about Doggy Poo? I don't really see a lot of families doing it there, but I say if it was on, I think it's appropriate for kids. It will teach kids a very important message that they'll have to learn sooner or later in this life.
And there's one message, of course, talking about, you know, putting these things on for kids to watch. I have to have one more shit joke. That's when your dad says, why is there only shit on at Christmas? Well, you could put that on and you'd have it. But, you know, all the shit jokes aside, I'm glad we watched this. Just from my point of view, I wouldn't be watching it either if it wasn't for this podcast. But I have been scouring, you know, the charity shops and things, looking for random films that aren't really covered elsewhere on YouTube that we would watch, that people might want to see, another audience might want to see. So, you know, these things aren't, oh, this is what Johnny will enjoy. These are, what is Johnny selecting that would be good to review for your amusement. So when we're suffering on your behalf. So, you don't have to bother looking for these things. We can tell you. And pleasantly surprised, like the guys here, I had no idea what it was going to be like. I had an idea, obviously it was based on a children's book, so I didn't think we were going to be watching, like Team America or whatever it's called, the one with the Thunderbird style puppets. I didn't think we were going to be watching that sort of thing. And it is a Christian message, so it's very suitable for Christmas, although it's not a Christmas story as such. But there you have it. So the only thing I can say is, from us, I want to thank you for coming along. As ever, you can email us, you can comment below. I would love it if you could comment below, actually. Have you heard of this film? Are you going to watch it? If you watch it and come back, tell us what you think, because I'd be curious to know. And you can email us, show@chatschmat.com. And, we are in a push, as this video is being made, to get 1,000 subscribers. So you can help us do that by going ahead and subscribing to the channel if you like it. There's no pressure. If you don't like it, you think we're a pile of shit, that's fine too. But from me, Johnny Porter, it's time to say goodbye. See you next time.
Goodbye. See you next time. Have fun.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you have a great Christmas and a new year.
Called dog.